So looks like there's only a single player, and let me just walk around so you can get a general idea what this game's trying to be. Oh yeah, for anyone that does download this, you're gonna have to lower the settings. I'm at like I was at 720. It's lower everything. You'll see how this game looks. Turn off bloom. So yeah, it either looks okay or extremely bad. There is no super awesome looking graphics. And if you check out other reviews on Steam, you'll see that, yeah, I'm not the only one having this, um, I guess, opinion about the overall graphics. That's how the character looks. You see how weirdly, like, he's all phasing in and out. And when you turn sideways, his arms go see through and his face goes see through. But pretty much, this plays exactly like a, I guess, worse version of Ark, even though Ark in itself is already unoptimized. But the person who made this game is also a Horizon Zero Dawn fan because we got robot creatures. So this game is basically a type of survival craft type of game. And I mean, there's not really anything innovative here. There's nothing really um being different, I guess, is the nicest way I can put it. Like, you get hungry, so punch the bush, you get berries, eat the hell out of them so you can stop being hungry. Then we have apparently there's a bush in the way. So if you can't farm something, you're just gonna get no resources out of it. So we're gonna have to go to a tree, beat the hell out of it. Look how the tree falls. Yeah, and then it's gonna get, yeah, see, it kind of just gets sucked into the void so it can disappear and stop taking space in the asset world. Look at it. Kind of just turns miniature and then disappears. So yeah, it's, I don't know. What, I guess I'll just start with suggestions because Dev gave me the code. They wanted me to check out their game, so I guess the suggestions I would say is try to do something that makes your game different from Ark, Minecraft, um, Lost Atlas, uh, freaking 7 Days. Like, what is your game doing different? And then obviously the whole creature thing, the little robots. It's like a good idea, but I mean, they don't give them more life instead of just sitting in one spot. Kind of just looks like what's the difference from that creature and that vehicle over there? That creature will not move from that area, will get stuck in the wall over and over and pretty much just be chilling in this area. I'm probably one of the few people who are extremely picky about how creatures interact with the world. And I grew up watching a lot of animal shows. So when I see stuff like this where the animal walks 2 steps left and then turns around and does 2 steps to the right, that's that destroys the game for me. Like it's immediately a turn off. If I'm gonna play a survival game, I want the if you're gonna base it off these creatures, I want the creatures to have more AI than that. Because look, he's literally stuck in a line of going that way and this way over the fence. So if we just stare at him, he's gonna be doing the same thing. And for me, that's a huge deal breaker. So here's a suggestion for you, developer. Give these creatures better AI, or at least put it on the roadmap that you plan on giving them better AI, because this and how they attack too. I get it; it's a robor, it's a robot boar, but I mean, it's just nudging me. Give it some better. Give it a charging attack. Give it a uh, I don't know, a uppercut attack. It's just nudging over and over, and that's kind of the attack they all do, to be honest, which isn't really different. It just this all feels like placeholders, and I get it's a prologue, but you should have called it a demo because a prologue insinuates that you're going to be getting into something and playing a chunk of the game, which is going to lead up to what the game shall be. If this is what your game shall be, then you have a lot of work ahead of you because this isn't really much. And you're supposedly coming into early access this year. So what are you going to do different from this point on? We can see right here if you guys wish list it, we'll have elemental weapons, mini bosses, underground city sections, mega robot upgrades, massive incredible bosses. Now, I don't think you should make these wish list goals. You should just do it because if you don't release these elemental weapons, you won't even know if they're broken or not because we can't even test them until you get 5,000 people to wish list. And if we can't test them, you won't know if they're even good, working properly, or all of the above if you don't have them in the game. Same thing with mini bosses. If your mini bosses fight anything like these robors do, that's going to be a bad time. That's not going to be fun. That's not going to be unique. That's not going to be different. Underground city sections, I can't even get into any building. I have to shoot the buildings, which I find very restrictive, especially in a world where I'm supposed to be involved and want a adventure and search around. You've immediately gate kept me and closed every building I've been to. And yes, I have played to the houses. I played to the streets over there with the city buildings and all that. And so far, you can't even open any of the city buildings. And these houses, I got to shoot them open. So I got to build a supposed wooden pistol, which doesn't make sense either. That's breaks you out of immersion right there. And then mega robot upgrades and massive incredible bosses. So it's just like, okay, you're pretty much a crafting game and you're going to have stuff you can craft and upgrade. Okay, that's like every crafting game. What are you doing different? What are you going to make people want to download your game? What do you plan on doing that's going to make your game fun and unique? Because right now, you also need to optimize it. I'm on low everything, and you're advertising Unreal 5 Lumen. But if you turn that on, it literally just drops my frames to oblivion. And I'm playing at 720p. I'm forced to play in 720p. I could play plenty games at 1080p. And though I have a 1050 Ti, yeah, haha, lol, right? I usually can play most games at decent frame rates. This game shouldn't be acting like this, even on low everything. Look how it looks. Like you need to optimize it a bit more. That should be your first priority, and then figuring out what you want to do with your game because adding buildings doesn't make a world. Because the world could have you could have infinite buildings all around. We can be in space for all we care, But if there's no content to keep you satiated and busy, this is just pretty much a hollow game. And you're coming into early access this year. So I'm assuming this is staying. You're going to add a few of the wish list things. And then I don't even know if you're going to charge people for this, but I I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't buy it. And I play 7 days, which looks just almost as bad as this, but a little bit better. This is Unreal 5. How does this look worse than Unity? See, can't go in there. Cool reflection though. You can see the reflection to the forest, and then you can see inside. Look at all that space that's not being used. Like, you're gonna add underground areas. Why? You could just open up all these buildings, put furniture in there and other things inside them, and then you would have more areas to, I guess, more variety if you changed up the areas inside every single building. And if we can climb up in them and all that, that'd be cool. You wouldn't even have to worry about underground places, and you could just focus on putting that stuff together. But look, we're gonna go over here, just like Ark, Dysenteria, and most other survival games. You got drops, so in order to get the drop, you got to kill those mechas, dinos, or whatever you want to call them next to it. I mean, that's not a new concept. This thing, you got to get really close for things to attack you, and when they attack you, they just nudge you, man. They just angrily nudge you, like people at the DMV. Like you're standing in line and they're just nudging you because there's no space because it's a full day. That's pretty much how these things attack. All the sounds are the same too, and you just have an annoying "I'm dying" sound effect, and then you immediately get teleported to over here, which is kind of, I don't know. If I was paid to convince my friends to download this, I wouldn't even know what to tell them. Like this game needs a lot of work. I don't know what your goal is for this game. You're obviously a Horizon fan and you're obviously an Ark fan, but come on, man. Look at my face. You can see my mouth through my head. Got to fix that. You got to fix optimization. Add more variety to the AI of the creatures. Add more ways to get inside buildings without locking them very early on because DayZ, you running straight to a building to go loot, right? That's the first thing I did. I'm running to this building, and guess what? When I go to the door, it straight up tells me you need to shoot it open. Okay, why? Why do I need to shoot it open? Like that defeats the whole point of scavenging and looking around. Okay, so what, right? Build a gun. This is the gun. I got to build a wooden pistol. Oh, I got to make stone. I got to get stone. I got to get wood, and I got to get twine. How do you get that? Okay, let's do that. You got to hit this bush over and over. We got that. So I'm going to tell you right now, in order to get stone, the only way to get it is build the pickaxe. You can't even do it with your hand. So you're already slow progressed for no reason. You can't find stone on the floor. You have to make a pickaxe, then find the regular looking stone, and then beat the hell out of that until you have enough to um make other things. And that's kind of, you need to fix that too. Needing to get other tools to get other tools is kind of redundant. Like if you're going to make it so slow to get materials, then you need to make it so that it doesn't require so much materials, or that you can, if you're going to make us take forever getting the materials, then make it so that you can make um, the items by, I should be able to hit this with my fist. Every other crafting game allows me to hit this with my fist. That's ridiculous. Hold on, I got to eat berries because food. There is no settings to change that. So hopefully, if they ever release this, they have settings to change that. If you don't have that planned, you need that planned because I hate playing a survival game I cannot customize. That's already horrible in my opinion. You got XP so you can level up your health, stamina. I'm just gonna level up that. I don't really, I'm not gonna bother with being technical with all the perk stuff. Pretty basic. So can we farm this now? Yeah, we can. See, you need specific tools to do certain things. And yes, I get it. In other survival games, you might need a certain tool to do certain things. But when we're talking basic rock and wood, no, you shouldn't force somebody to spend any more time um, mining resources, especially when you're trying to convince someone to play your game. The minute you lose their attention, they're going to want to hop off your game. So you want to make sure you give them a reason to keep their attention. Oh, I like, okay, I'm just going to get murdered by a giant T Rex now. So usually, what I do when I play these games is I run around, look for buildings, and go inside them. You've literally stopped me from doing that. So what am I going to do now? Let me go to these buildings. Maybe I can go inside them. Nope. Okay, so I can't. Basically, all these buildings do not exist to me. That means all I can do is run around the forest like a caveman, mining resources so I can make a gun to kill these things so that I can. I mean, I'm pretty much. I'm pretty sure that's all you can do in this prologue. Like, once you make the gun, there's not much else to do. Except for maybe get a better gun. But what is the objective you want me to do? What's gonna keep me playing your game and not the other 10 survival games I have on Steam? Like, that's what you need to think about when you're making a game. If you're making it for yourself and you're happy with what the product is, then by all means, what I'm saying doesn't matter. Okay, I can't. The heck? Okay, there it goes. But if you want people to play your game, you're gonna have to do some changes. It's not. It's not gonna be good. See, like this garage, can't go in it. Gotta shoot the door. Why do I gotta shoot doors? Why would I even want to shoot the door? Why would I waste ammo to shoot the door when it looks like there's nothing in there? Rocks Orion. So there's a giant T-Rex. I don't even know where all these creatures started coming from. Oh, he just fought the other thing. Okay, so you need to fix that. That's a glitch. Every time I get into the inventory, the mouse disappears. I mean, if he's gonna kill everything, might as well farm the salvage, right? No, leave me alone. Okay, it just doesn't matter. That's kind of annoying. Of course, you give the big annoying dinosaur free range to run around, but all the other dinosaurs are just dumb AI. That's another thing you need to make all the dinosaurs have decent AI to where they walk around and look like real creatures walking around and not just assets moving back and forward. And you need to tone down that giant T-Rex thing because if I'm spawning here, that means this is the noob area. Unless you're trying to go for some weird hardcore difficulty type of thing. Hence the reason why you need to add, customized settings because some people don't like that. You've immediately, for the people that don't like hardcore survival, you immediately just made them quit your game. They don't want to deal with that. They're done. They already got off. So if you're trying to make it for a lot of people to enjoy your game, you just exiled a bunch of those people. They're already off your game. If you're trying to make it for people who adventure, they already left because you closed all your doors. You can't get into until you shoot them. Like, you got to make something to do something in this game, and that's not the point of survival crafting. The whole point of survival crafting is you make all the basic necessities quick so you can get on your feet survive, and then you start focusing on what's the big plan. Here, you can't even do that. Your big plan is to focus on all the, I got to make this tool to get this tool, and in order to get this tool, I got to make this tool. So it's kind of just counterintuitive. Like I play a lot of free to play games. I play a lot of survival games, a lot of MMOs, and I'm all right. I'm used to some low quality. All right, like I've played some MMOs that were super hardcore content, gate kept, and it takes weeks to get to anything, and like quality, right? The quality being low, but this, I mean, I w- I wouldn't play this even if it was free early access. I probably wouldn't play it. Like tone down the graphics, increase the adventure aspect, increase the creature AI aspect. Don't just don't plop them in a spot. That's not what creatures would do. You see how they're just there? Make them roam this whole street and walk around this whole area. Give them like a circle or something. All right. I don't know if you're gonna watch this, Dev, but I'm just gonna summarize what I've been saying this whole video, and I'll probably just put it as a chapter on YouTube. But make sure figure out what type of audience you're trying to go for. If you're going for the all-around survival experience, then make sure you have customizable settings. Make sure you have more open areas so that we can adventure in or hide in from the random T-Rex that can basically kill you at spawn. And then increase optimization or put more effort into optimization. And then make sure the AI are a bit smarter and more lifelike so they look like they're moving around because they don't look like creatures when they're just sitting there. They just look like, what would be the word? Like you could make it a toaster for all I care. Since it's not moving anywhere, it doesn't look lifelike. It doesn't look alive. It just looks like, oh, this thing's gonna attack me if I go near it, and that's it. You want it to be patrolling an area so you have a reason. Why give me a crouch button, right? So I can sneak around. Well, what's the point of sneaking around if the creatures immediately automatically find you if you're just sitting right next to them? So there is no, you know, like I could be walking right here and then he turns around. Yeah, come on. There it goes. Like if you're at a certain range, even if you're behind them, they just turn around like that. And then fix the camera or the character model. Like how is there level 47 and I'm barely starting. Then again, you die and insta spawn at the beginning again, so it's not like you really lose anything for dying. So it doesn't make sense. Are you going for a hardcore, takes forever, grindy survival game, but when you die, there's no penalty, or you're going for, I don't know, you're doing too much at once. Slow your pace and focus on making the smaller things better because there's no reason to have lumen and all this crazy freaking epic settings for no reason. Freaking lumen, 3D clouds. Look at that. Wow, cool. There's no point in having this. It's going to kill your frame rate. I can't even see myself. Look at Bloom, man. 3D clouds. I don't care if they're 3D. I'm too busy looking at the state of the ground. I didn't even know there was clouds. That make that 3D. They're so far away. Why does it even matter? Oh well. This isn't a review. This is more of a here's some random suggestions. If you don't like it, don't listen to me. But I mean, we're both entitled to our opinions. You don't have to like my video. I didn't like your game. You tried too hard to be Horizon Zero Arc Evolved, and it's obvious what your influences are. But this game's not for me, Chief. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm not gonna wish list this. I'm not gonna touch it again. It's not. There's nothing different. There's nothing unique about it.